These are the basic ingredients on how to make fideo. This is how you spell it. And as you can tell, it's a Mexican recipe. It's traditionally Mexican, but we're going to teach you how to make it plant-based and how you can make it in your own home. These are the basic ingredients. We have a whole onion. I have a whole head of garlic. We like a lot of garlic. And then I have about 4 or 5 roma tomatoes that are quartered or cut up. It's just easier for the blender to liquefy it. And so I have this pot. What I'm going to do is toast this pasta. And then I'm going to put it aside because I don't like overcooked pasta. And so let's go ahead and look at the macros on this. So if I flip it over, the first thing I want to show you right off the bat is the ingredients. So as you can tell, the ingredients do not have any added oil. And so food naturally has fat in it. So as you can tell here, the total fats is 1.5 grams. The cholesterol is obviously 0 because it's a plant food. We have carbohydrates, which is 44 grams. And then of protein, we have 6 grams. So this is a very high carb pasta. What I'm going to do first is liquefy the onion and the garlic and the tomato. And that's going to be the tomato base. At the same time, I'm going to be toasting this. And I'll show you how I'll toast it because we're toasting it with no oil. And so you have to keep a really good eye on it. Toasting the pasta just, I don't know, just gives it like another depth of flavor. So right now I have it on like medium low. This is an induction stovetop. And basically I have it pretty low because this burns really fast. And I'm not sauteing it with any oil. Traditionally they do. But I obviously omit the oil because we don't need oil on this channel. And what you really want to do is make sure that it doesn't get burnt at the bottom. So you're just constantly moving it, constantly making sure it's not like super brown because you will definitely tell if your pasta gets burnt. I'm going to keep turning it around just like this until it gets like a nice golden brown. I have been toasting this for about 5 to 10 minutes. As you can see, it kind of started to change color. I kind of had to go up on the heat because I wasn't really getting any action, but basically you want this toasted and you'll know if it's like good because it will just like smell up your kitchen. Like it smells super good, super fragrant. And as you can tell, like you really don't want to burn it. I'm kind of like on the edge there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put the soup base in here. We're going to saute it down so it gets really good deep flavor. And so this is what I showed earlier, the tomato, the onion, and the garlic all together. And so I have a pan that's really hot and you'll hear the sizzle. Oh, just kidding. No sizzle. Hopefully this is like a little better angle that the color of the pasta did change. And I wanted to also mention that we're going to add about 6 potatoes to this. So this plus the potatoes, those are just pure carbs. And so like I said, we're going to let this boil and I'll show you what that looks like too. This is a little bit of salt. I would say it's about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more. This is another teaspoon of granulated mushroom bouillon. And then this last seasoning is actually from Colombia. And what it is a mixture of like rice flour, cumin, granulated garlic, black pepper, and some paprika to give it color. And I just wanted to show you what they look like just in case you were interested. But if you do not have this spice, which is pretty rare, like I said, it comes from Colombia, you can just add like each individual spice to give it some flavor. Also, I used to make this with literally just salt, so don't feel like you need all this fancy stuff. And then this is the bag of the spice if you can try to order it online. And then this is the granulated garlic brand that we use as well. This is how much water I wanted to make. It's mostly depends on how much soup you want to make. This is a really good soup for you to like make ahead of time and then you can come back and like eat it throughout the week. I ended up putting 2 of these cups. So I'll put how much water that actually ended up being. And so now I'm just going to wait for the water to boil and I will add the potato. Soup is boiling. I added a leek for a little bit more flavor. And I also added all of the potato. These are the sizes that I cut them in. They're a little less than an inch. And I am letting it boil, letting the potato get soft. And right around when there's like 5 to 10 minutes left on the potato, you can just basically poke it with a fork. And then if it's soft, then you're done. So before it gets super, super soft, you want to add the pasta. This is our finished product. I added the pasta already, just about 5 minutes before the potato was done. I also added some frozen peas because they were in my freezer. They don't need to be in here. And then I added a bunch of spinach when everything was done cooking. You just put the top on it, and those will wilt away with the steam. But this came out really good. Obviously, you're getting the high carb from the wheat pasta and the potatoes. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please let me know in the comments down below how it turned out for you, or if you need any pointers on when you're trying to create this recipe.